Hello and welcome. This is Biblical Encouragement. My name is Rendani.
And I am David.
So we thought we'd do a video on all the fun things about marriage because, the last one was on lessons. And we thought, hey, let's talk about all the fun stuff.
Yeah, so this one will be short because marriage is not fun.
So, would you like to start?
Before we start, my agent says we haven't been paid for the last...
appearances. Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure.
So here's the deal. We are still crowdfunding for that payment.
Okay.
And as soon as we have it,
all right,
we'll pay you.
Okay. So you hobos, could you please hurry up?
Please just pay what you need to pay so we can get more of him.
Yeah. This is going to be my last appearance until
he gets paid.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that.
All right.
Embarrassing me.
Yeah, well, you know.
And
sometimes you have to
my late payment, my non-payment.
It's in the Bible, I'm sure. Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to start with this one.
Yeah. So being married, and especially when you're doing it the way that the author of love intends for us to do it, it can be a wonderful experience. It really is the best relationship you're going to have here on earth. Again, this is provided you do it the way that God intends us to do it. And I just find it's, I'm so much more myself in marriage than even, it's funny because, you think that, being on your own, that you are more yourself, but I find that being partnered with someone that obviously shares the same beliefs as you, that just brings out just the person that you are meant to be. Obviously, this is if you have found someone that God has chosen for you and not just some random person off the street. I believe that your partners, the great qualities that your partner has, just coax the same in you. To make you a more better, rounded person. Not to say that we're mirroring each other, but rather that the qualities that my wife has. That fill the gap in me, makes me more comfortable to be who I am, because I'm not so worried about all the things that I'm lacking, because I have a partner who covers that for me. Yeah, so I'm now more able to be me, and not worry that I'm going to burn the house down, because I've got this person, I've got someone who is worried about that kind of stuff, so that I don't have to, so that I can continue, to bring the chaos, knowing that there's going to be a cap to it. There's going to be, I'll be just fine, and so it's like those things where your partner doesn't necessarily or isn't supposed to be showing you all the things that you're lacking, but rather highlighting all the things that you are great at, by allowing you to not worry about those things that are missing. That for me is just one of the great things about being married. And also having companionship. I think life can be difficult, and not to say that misery loves company, but it's great to go through life with someone, to go through the highs and the lows, knowing that I've got someone who has chosen to spend their life with me, who's chosen to do this life thing with me, and is as committed to our my joy as I am to theirs. It's freeing. It's freeing. I like knowing that I have not again. This is not about taking for granted, but being able to be yourself without pretense with your spouse. Not having to try so hard to be something that you're not, just to fit in with people. I find that gratifying.
So is that all of yours?
Saving the good stuff for
later. Okay, so for me, I think he's stealing my notes.
Oh, wow.
Because very similar to his. So mine, really, the first one is that it really does bring about the redemption of your personality. So my understanding of personality is that it is formed really by how we experience the world, how we respond to the world, and how the world responds to us. And so that, of course, you learn from a young age. If I do this, I get a little more attention. If I do this, and so on. So whatever that need is, we start to build this persona of ourselves. And we have natural inclinations, of course, but these personalities can bring with them a lot of negative effects, like the attention-seeking stuff and so on. And so what I find is that being with him, he's able to tear or remove some of those terrible influences that I may have and bring out the good stuff in me. So not to go into self-promotion or anything, because I don't believe in self-elevation, but it really is the person who God intended me to be is coming out because of the pruning that happens in this relationship. So things, for instance, like the reason why I like things to be a certain way. I don't like disorder. I like everything to be, a certain way, because then I feel calm, less anxious, and so on. I'm able to address the roots of the reasons why I need things to be a certain way, because I'm with someone who doesn't need things to be that way. And because I'm able to assess these roots, these fears, and everything that come with it, I'm able to give those things up to God. And we work through those things while I try to be a little less, high-strung about the things that I hold on to, and allowing sort of life to go with the flow while still maintaining that aspect of who God has intended me to be. The second thing I would say is, like he said, he's stealing from me, is that you get a true life partner. I feel like I have someone who has loved me through everything. Well, we've been together since high school, so this has been like the only person I've really known that much through my early adult years to my later years. Okay, not that we are in our 80s, but you get what I'm saying.
I was her teacher in high school.
But yeah, a true life partner. And I remember one of the first things that I said about you was you were the first person who I honestly felt truly loved from. Not to say that I come from a horrible home or home where I wasn't loved. I was very loved. I was very well taken care of. But there was something about a person who understood how to show me the way that I receive love. And the way that I receive love is by someone taking an interest in the things that I take an interest in, the 5 love languages. So the things that I take an interest in, for someone to come into my world, to want to serve me above themselves. And that's what I saw in him. He was someone who cared a lot and still does. So it's not like he was just catfishing for the first couple of years. Put a ring on it and then it's like...
well, it ends tomorrow. The true personality comes out.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yes. And I was always very scared of that. I've always been very commitment phobic. So for me, I was always very scared that the minute the guy puts a ring on your finger is the minute he changes. Or the minute you agree to something is the minute he changes. And he hasn't. He hasn't changed all these years.
Like, to what end, sir?
To the long con.
I've never understood that.
The long con.
What do you have?
I don't know. I have something very special.
You are, look, I'm not saying you're not something special, but I'm just saying, what is it? Why do you think I'm like, okay, just as soon as I have her
fears are what they are. That's why we should not live in fear. That's why God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. And yes, he starts to take away from these fears, because perfect love really does expel fear. And that's what you see, is that it starts to show you, why do I feel this way? Why do I constantly feel like, the other shoe's about to drop, or whatever the thing is? And God uses these things to sort of show you where you've picked up bad habits, or you've seen things happen, and so you thinking, no, that's just how things work. And when he brings someone that he's not perfect, but he works hard at loving, he works hard at showing me love and being committed and following through on the things that he says. And it's one of those things that can really repair brokenness in you. If you have brokenness about seeing, sorts of disappointments or something around your life, and that's led to a fear of commitment, it can really help to see someone who keeps his word. When he says he's going to do something, he does it. And he doesn't just do it to finish, to just do it. Even when he cleans the house, he's very thorough with doing that. So it's one of those things that God has used to show me through everything. He is someone who is there, and he's someone who is committed still. And I've never had to worry. I don't know why we normalize this, but I've never had to worry about some other girl. Never. And I think part of it is the fact that I was like, look, I don't do that. Okay, I'm not going to fight for your attention or anything like that. But I think the other part is that's just how he is. He's not the kind of guy who's going to be here on some scrolling through. I'm not saying he's not a man, right?
Like I said, until tomorrow. That's when the real fun begins.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I've never had to worry about that. And I don't know, love, because this is something when I tell people, we'll be like, yeah, but he's a man. So maybe you can elaborate a bit on that. Like what guides your way of not womanizing, of not looking at other women's pictures and things as a trivial thing, but as a serious thing?
Well, I don't want to, elevate myself. But I remember when, we first started going out, that, how do I put it? I just have always felt like this is the person for me. I remember my cousin once asked me, why do you try so hard in this, relationship? And I was like, when you find someone that this is the person for me. I've always saw you as someone, I'm like, this is, and not in I'm resigning, I'm giving up, I'm settling, but this is the person, this is it for me. It's like, it doesn't get any better because there isn't any better. And it's like, this is great. I don't need to look at the menu anymore.
An inside thing about that too.
I don't need to look at the menu anymore. It's like, this is what I want. And so, outside of that, like coming through, buddy. No, that's. So it really is just being that. It's, I think we both acknowledge that, there are people out there who are attractive, but it's like nobody is worth that second look. When you have found, look at all of that, so pretty. So it really isn't anything that I think stems from my own personality, or just knowing you found the one, the thing. It's like this. So that's where that comes from.
That's why I'm the one. But I mean, it's honestly like the most secure feeling you can have is to know that you're not competing with anyone. So I'm not I'm not catty to other women. I'm not, any of these things, because I'm not worried about where his affiliations lie. It's not to say that we don't have boundaries in our relationship, because we do, about how much time you spend with someone of the opposite sex, and we have those things where we're like, no, we cannot be stupid here, because unfortunately what happens is relationships go through their ebbs and flows, and because of that, it could be sometime where you're feeling maybe less desired. You're feeling like you're not cared for as much, and that's just a human feeling. It's the flesh speaking to you, and if someone starts to show you that kind of attention, you can definitely go down that path. So it's not like we're advocating once you found the one, that's it. No, we still have boundaries of those sorts of things. We're not okay with that. I need to know who your female friends are, that kind of thing. It needs to be very transparent. We don't keep those kinds of secrets. So for me, it's been very securing, knowing that I don't have to fight or do any of those things, because it's not my battle. It's you. If you have a lust issue, that's your problem, but I don't have to be going up to every girl and like, why are you talking to my man? Why are you texting my man? No, if I see something, I go to him. Then I'm like, hey, why are you talking to this person? Like, not that I've had to, but why are you talking to this person like this? Because that's who I'm committed to, not that girl. So I think that's another thing that a lot of women struggle with in relationships is that cattiness that can happen, and not feeling secure because you feel like your guy is looking at other women. And it's not to say that women don't do it, because we do have eyes, we do have sexual organs, and things like that. But I think for me, it was always that I saw the quality of him as a person from a long time ago. I saw the quality of him as a person. He's not just intelligent, he's not just caring, but he's a person who has a true Christ-centered view. And because of that value, I was like, no one else comes anywhere close. A person can look great, but they're nothing compared to who he is, the essence of who he is. So for me, that was always a thing that was, I could not just be like, that guy, because it's like, you have the best. Why? So but not to say you shouldn't have boundaries in your relationship, because that's important. All right, your next one.
My next and final one. I have always saw marriage as not only God loving you through your person, but also God teaching you how to love the way that He has intended for us. That for me is something that has stuck with me since our premarital counseling days, where a pastor was, we were going through this workbook, and he told us that this is how the 1 Corinthians 13 way, how to love, that's how we are supposed to love one another. But beyond that, that's how we are supposed to love our neighbor, like the way that God has intended. And so it's like, you cannot love your neighbor if you don't love your spouse, if you don't love the person, your family, the person that you are with. If you don't have love for your wife, you won't be able to go into the world and do any loving. And so for me, marriage has always been that iron that sharpens iron, because you are pretty much forced to confront all those things that are contrary to what love is, because as soon as those things start to take dominance, as soon as your flesh starts to take dominance over your spirit, it will seep into your relationship, into your marriage, and then that's where problems start to arise. They say you cannot betray or your wife before you betray God.
True.
Yeah, so it's like, when you get to that point, you've already let go of God. And so it's like, marriage is that gauge for me that, where am I at with my relationship with God? Because I cannot maintain love on my own. I need God. So it's like my marriage is a thing that always takes me back to my need for God. That reminds me that you can keep this up for only so long, but if you aren't going back to the source of love, you won't have love to give, and then that's when your relationship, your marriage will start becoming unpleasant or disharmonious. That for me, having that gauge, that almost real-time gauge of where your relationship with Christ is how you are doing in your relationship with your spouse. If things aren't great with God, things won't continue being great with your spouse.
That is so true, my goodness. I echo.
Drops mic. Did I steal that from you?
No, you didn't. Ha! Yeah, but I completely agree with you there. It's I remember last year when I went through a revival myself with God. This was an internal revival. And the first thing God says is work on your marriage. I think it has a lot to do with, this is how you know you're with God. God will lead you to the Bible. God will lead you to, working on like the things that he cares about. And one of the things that he definitely cares about is marriage. So working on that is definitely a clear indication that, God is in control, because you can become complacent and, you've been together for a very long time. You forget that, no, actually, it's not supposed to be that. You're constantly supposed to be working at it. And for me, that was a great thing that I feel like has given us a sort of a second wind after the seven year, what do you call it? Itch hump. We crossed it, and now we have our second wind for the next whatever it is, superstitious thing that they say. I don't know. Is it based in science?
I don't know.
We don't know these things. And then for me, I think the last one is definitely fun. I genuinely like hanging out with this person. We have so much fun. We have so many inside jokes and things where we'll be somewhere and we'll just look at each other. Like if someone says something, we'll just look at each other and laugh. Because, it's just like if you have a connection on things, we have shows that we love, shows that we treasure, and they're just things that we will joke about during the day. We are that couple, that weird couple that will text each other throughout the workday and then come home and still be excited to spend time together. We miss each other when we are apart from each other for a few hours. We genuinely do. We are that couple that has been together that long, but still like being together. Is it codependency, love?
It's friendship. Okay? It's friendship. You weirdos out there who are not friends with your spouses, you guys are weird. So I think for me that is fun. We look forward to going to do things together, and it's a wonderful thing. The friendship is incredible, and I feel like because most of life really is, the years of dealing with things and moments of, triumph, moments of weakness, moments of heartache, and all of these things. If you don't have the basis of friendship, it's going to be very difficult to get through those things. Because sex is great,
And we are definitely advocates for maintaining a good, healthy sex life according to, what healthy and regular or whatever it is for you. Go into those books for yourself and so on. But I think we definitely, for me, friendship is just the most important, because most of life has a lot to do with dealing with these sorts of things. And sex is wonderful, and it should be there. It should be regular according to whatever your regularity is. And it should be fun as well. Should be learning more, don't get stagnant about that. So definitely I'm a very big advocate for that. Work on it, whatever your issues may be. But friendship, guys, that stuff is just incredible. It's you like each other, and that is an incredible feeling to have, to be with someone you look forward to being with, and not can I stay a little bit extra at work, or in my car when I come home, or you look forward to going even grocery shopping together, because it's a chance for the two of you to be together and be goofy. And we are still those people. We are still goofy. We are still goofy when we're together. And yeah, I don't know, love. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when we're going to grow up, but we still haven't grown up.
Tomorrow, like I said.
And I think
this ends tomorrow.
And I think that's another part of it, is never grow up. The minute you grow up, and by that I just mean, bills and things are more important. Yeah, pay your bills, do all of those things, but don't ever stop being goofy. Don't ever stop being kids with each other, because that's how you fell in love. Most of the time you remember a carefree person, a person who enjoyed life and so on. And that's the person you fell in love with. So yeah, I think part of maintaining that excitement in life is definitely keeping the childlike essence about you, that your partner enjoys, that you enjoy about yourself. And yeah, I think you'll be able to maintain a good marriage relationship. Yeah, so I think that's it from us on the 3 great things about marriage. I'm not sure what else. I think we should also do one on the journey, because I don't think I can do that one by myself. It's the journey is tough to talk about, and I think I'll definitely need a lot of help with that. But yeah, we still have to get you paid. Yeah. Once you're paid, then we will make sure that that's done.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us. I hope this was encouraging to you. Now, of course, these are great things about marriage, and these are things that God can definitely do in your marriage. Just submit it to Him, and keep trusting Him with it. And even seek out counseling. It's good to do that. For us, I think a big thing that helped us was definitely premarital counseling. Giving us that foundation was very important for us to understand what is actually important about marriage. And one of the things that they taught us was definitely grow together.
Yeah.
Don't let the one person grow and then you're sort of staying behind. And so growing together, sort of being together in the stages of life is important. So it's not like we just have a secret formula to something. It's only because God has done the good work that He's done in our marriage. And we pray for more years like this, of course. But even in the hard times, we pray that God is able to keep us. So with that, God willing, see you.